The Good Buddies Anime Podcast is hosted by two rowdy, foul-mouthed American cowboys. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, Good Buddies, what's up, and welcome into the Good Buddies Anime Show. Yo, Good Buddy Roger.
And I am your good buddy Brandon.
And we did another one of these things like we did last time.
Yes, indeed.
Last time I selected an anime for Brandon to watch. This time Brandon selected an anime for me to watch. If you watched the last episode, then you know what I watched, which was A Place Further Than the Universe.
Yeah.
And then I believe there's a little tagline, something about
a journey to the Antarctica.
Yeah,
yes.
Journey to the Antarctica.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sure.
It's fun.
Sure.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So
how do you want to do it? You want to just jump right in?
How did you start this last?
So I think you should take point on this one since it was new to you, just like I took point. It was new to, that one was new to me previously when we did Ancient Magus' Bride. But let's just get out of the way, man. You know I'm quivering with anticipation. I must know. Patient. What'd you think?
Well, okay, so go directly into what I think.
Just tell me, did you or did you not enjoy the thing?
I quite enjoyed it.
Okay, there you go.
I thought it was pretty good. I would kind of liken it to similar slice of life, maybe Sarah's on Mine. There was another one that came to mind too, and I'm sure it'll come to me in a little bit.
You'll think of it.
The difference between those two is that this one is far less weird than those.
Yeah, way less fantastical. It's pretty normal.
Yeah. I actually have a little quote that I wrote down here that everything
my boy's got notes. I can't believe it.
Everything done in the show is possible and believable.
Yeah.
And I didn't look any of it up, but I was curious about the scientific facts we were spitting out there, how accurate they were. I
definitely looked up the one place they went in Antarctica with the big, with all the brown rocks and stuff. That place is real. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, I just imagine that they just went all in on the facts and stuff about Antarctica and the way they traveled, the different, political natures and things behind it.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall it was a pretty cool study into Antarctica.
Yeah, but what I would like to know then, because that's this show. Let's just give it a quick rundown. Is about basically a bunch of girls who go to Antarctica. A bunch of high school girls, like second years. One of them is actually
a first year.
Yeah, and one of them's a first year, and one of them like straight dropped out and got her, Japanese equivalent of a GED. Yeah, it sounds like. And so
she's about to go to the college.
About to. So the whole deal with the show, though, is that while it's about that, it's really about these three girls kind of overcoming their perhaps self-imposed limitations, making friends, perhaps losing some friends.
I told somebody right before I was finishing the show, I was leaving work. And they were asking me about something or if I was going to watch something. I was like, no, I got to finish this show so I can do the podcast review on it. And they're like, what show is it? And I was like, it's an anime called A Place Further Than the Universe. It's kind of it's a slice of life about four girls that go on an adventure to Antarctica. They become friends. They start, they made a joke somewhere and they're like, did they find each other? And I was like,
yeah,
actually, yes,
they really did,
and it was quite good.
It's really good.
Yeah. So yeah, essentially exactly what Brandon's saying. There's these four high school students. The main character, she's wanting to get the most of her youth.
Yes, she wants to live her youth.
Yeah, she does not want it to, boil down into a giant mush of nothing that, maybe you have a few memories from here and there, like my youth.
And that was Mari Tamaki, or they call her Kimari. Yeah.
Yep. I have all their names. We got Mari Tamaki, who is Kimari. She's our main character. She's kind of airheaded, but often she is kind of wise and smart at some things. Actually,
yeah, sometimes
they know that, hey, you're pretty good at the weirdest things.
Yeah. They also
that kind of describes her perfectly.
Yes,
and she's a little weird.
They do rag on her a little bit, like,
oh yeah, sometimes she cuts her own bangs.
She cuts her own. Yes, that's such a funny. The show is very funny. Like, it has very heartfelt and sometimes straight up sad bits. But it's also hilarious.
The comedic timing is impeccable in this show, and the way they deliver all the punchlines, it lands every time.
You're absolutely right. The way they bring up cutting hair, and she's like, "What's the big deal? I cut my bangs all the time," and all the other three are just like, So that explains.
Yeah, because the whole show too, like she's got like that micro bang do going on.
Yeah, she's got the baby bangs.
Yeah,
it's a little. I don't know about this look. I don't know about that one, Chief.
Oh, she loves it. So what does it matter?
It's good for her. It's good for her. Yeah. That's what matters.
And then we got our next. I would say our next main character.
Certainly,
the duo that brings everybody together.
Right.
This one is Shirase Kabuchizawa.
Yes.
She is stern. She is smart. And she is
sometimes naive.
Yeah, sometimes naive, and sometimes she's a flat out jerk.
Yeah,
and she's open with it, and it's okay. And she's been. It makes sense because she's kind of been made fun of her whole, her whole high school life.
And she's the catalyst. It's the reason they're even going to Antarctica. Yes. Yeah.
Her mother was actually an explorer,
part of an expedition.
Yeah, part of an expedition. They would go do surveys and set up. They were working on an observatory, getting an observatory set up in Antarctica to study the sky. Obviously, there's no light pollution there, anything like that, so you get clear views. Plus, you have the Aurora Australis, I believe. Borealis is up north.
This guy.
This is Australis. So her mom is on an expedition out there, and she gets separated in a blizzard, and ultimately I'll tell you right now, she's dead.
Yeah. She's dead when the show starts.
Don't let the show, because it kind of hints at first like she wants to find her mother, wants to be close to her mother.
She says my mother is waiting there. That's why she wants to go.
Yeah, a lot of it is, like it's kind of a bait and switch. Like, does this girl realize that her mother is dead?
She does.
Yeah, she does. But it's the slow acceptance and the slow trek to resolution and closure that really makes at least one moment towards the end very powerful.
Yeah.
And it makes her character, rooted down, and you want her to succeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And on top of that, like I said, she talks about Antarctica all the time and getting there, and
to the point
people,
people in high school just
for it.
Call
they think
her
she's
that.
weird.
They just call her
this is,
Antarctica.
and it's noted too that she's, she's beautiful. She's a very pretty student. There's nothing weird about her other than the fact that she is obsessed with going to Antarctica to find her mother.
And that's just fucking weird, man.
Yeah. Why? Who travels to Antarctica?
Who wants to go places?
I'll tell you what, this show kind of made me want to go check out Antarctica.
Honestly, yeah, I want to hop on a boat and hit that 60 degree.
Yeah, I don't want those screaming 60s. Or the maddening 50s.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, you learn. I want to know if that stuff is real. The degrees that the boat shifts going up and down turbulent water and how it makes you sick.
Yeah, dude.
This show is fascinating. There's there's a lot of shit they just shove into this thing that makes it good.
It really, there's definitely, I've seen hobby animes and stuff
for a show that should be so goddamn boring.
Yeah.
It is anything but.
Absolutely. There's hobby shows and stuff like this that are slice of life that they show you, oh, here's the different ways to do this thing, or how, there was one that I remember watching that was actually about astronomy stuff, like them looking at the sky and studying the stars and stuff. I was like, this is kind of cool, but kind of boring. But this one, it cuts such a good mix.
Yeah.
Of learning stuff and also just solid storytelling.
Yeah. I mean, the show sets up, essentially 3 arcs, which I'll get into.
Yeah.
Into, this full, all 3 are big chunks of this full adventure that you're taking part on with them.
Yeah.
And even though it might seem kind of mundane, it's actually anything but, because you get a whole lot of the experiences along that adventure that would make an adventure feel like it's something special.
Absolutely right.
But let's go ahead and clear out our last 2 girls here.
Yes.
We got Hinata Miyake.
She's my favorite.
Yeah, dude, I think she's my favorite too.
She's the best.
She's a fucking goof.
Oh, she's the best. And that's the thing is
she's goofing.
She's goofing, and she's weirdly super wise.
Yeah, she really is. She's got that sage wisdom.
She does have that sage. So she's the one who dropped out. You find out why later. And when they first meet her, she's just working at a convenience store. But she does this thing where she is simultaneously one of the funnier comic reliefs and the wisest, because she'll say something like, well, you know what they say, the best way to speed the hands of time of the clock is to stay busy. And they're like, oh, really? Who says that? And she's like, me.
I made it up.
I did. It's like, damn, you right, girl.
Yeah, she works at a convenience store, so she
knows what's up. Hell
she comes up that wisdom. She makes her time pass by.
Damn.
But
my sister in the strug.
Yeah, she's really funny. She's really smart. She's wise, and when you know it, she's depressed.
Yeah, she's got her stuff. But she like
any good comedian.
It's one of those where like, and you will get these arcs with each of them, but like you will get like an episode or two dedicated to each of these characters, and they absolutely work. But like her whole shit, where like she's always happy, always smiling, always chipper, and then you get that moment of like, hey, you know, I don't need you to feel sorry for me, motherfucker, like that kind of shit. Where you see those edges start to break. Oh, she's my favorite.
Yeah, she's great, and she's kind of she's almost like the glue that holds a trio together.
A little bit,
yeah.
Even though she almost like makes them split up at one point.
Yeah, kind of.
Woof.
But that's great. Of her own doing.
And that happens.
It's not really her making them all split. It's her splitting from them.
Exactly.
Because of the fear that she has of, you know, potentially her friends betraying her.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good. And then finally we got Yuzuki Shirashi.
She's great.
She's an idol.
Yeah, basically.
You got, if you're gonna have 4 Japanese girls in a show, one of them's got to be an idol.
One of them's got to be a little bit famous. Yes. Yeah. So she's a first-year high school. I will say, like, my only problem, the only thing I have bad to say about this is like they kind of, I feel like all these characters get such great development and such good story arcs. But hers, they kind of, it made it for a second when they first introduced her, made it feel like it was going to be a like, you know, overbearing mom, like forcing her to do stuff kind of thing. And then that kind of fizzles for her real story arc.
It is kind of weird though too, because she definitely is in one of those situations where, you know, her mother is her manager or whatever.
Yeah. And then like
and usually from what I know, that shit is kind of toxic.
Right.
And she actively wants to do other things, and her mom's like, no.
No, you need. She like actually has a line. She's like, I told you, like next year you can do whatever you want. Can't you just like bite down on this for 1 year? And she's like, why?
Yeah,
you know,
who's
you're
this
forcing
really
her to
benefiting?
do this stuff. Yeah. But then like,
but she loves her mom.
Yeah. I mean, they do the thing. She has her story arc, and then she comes back, and there's like a bit where they have a big hug, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's the thing though, is that's like a tiny little portion of her. Her main thing is that she has no friends.
Yeah, she has no friends because she has no time.
She has no time for friends, 0 time for friends. And then like these girls show up, and she's like, well, y'all are already friends. She's like, what we've only known each other like a month.
Yeah.
Oh?
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're friends.
Yeah. Through, you know, actually scheming of her mother to get her to do the thing that,
exactly.
She is their in to Antarctica.
Exactly.
For a lack of a better word, she's their in, and their mother, essentially, her mother hires the other 3 girls to like, well, you guys can all go with her because we know you want to go if
you can convince her
to go.
Exactly, because she doesn't want to go to. She's like, fuck she's basically doing like a report of like a high school girl
cold.
going
I don't want to go.
Right.
But you know, through genuine, you know, bonding and friendship, they get her to go, and they are open with her. Like, yeah, your mom put us up to it, but they show up anyway to be, you know, to be there for her.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's really good, and then that will kind of break us into, you know, our 3 arcs. That arc generally explores the start of the adventure and finding a way to Antarctica.
Because at first it's
that's
very
your
much
first
a
4
pipe
episodes.
dream. Yeah.
Your next 4 episodes, maybe 5, are the trip to Antarctica.
Like training and trip. Yeah.
Yeah. They train. They get on the planes. They visit different countries on the way to board.
How bad do you want to go to Singapore after watching this?
Yeah, man, Singapore, you're gonna have one of those durians, dude.
Give me a durian.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get one of those durians.
Give me a room at that way too expensive, crazy fancy hotel with the big boat on top that is a pool.
Yeah.
I want to see the merlion.
Yeah. So yeah, it's essentially them going to the different stops to get to the boat to go to Antarctica. Then we have them on the boat heading to Antarctica, and that's in the so that's in a span of about 5 episodes. And your last 4 episodes are actually there on Antarctica. So you see this adventure from its genesis to its very end. One of the essentially your last thing that you're going to see. Spoiler alert here. Is them leaving Antarctica.
Yeah, coming home. And then there's a great little twist at the very end.
Yeah.
With there's other characters that get involved. But
yeah, Megami is who you're talking about.
Yeah. She's great. I mean, she's kind of a bitch, but she's great.
Yeah. She did what she did.
She did what she did. She knew what she did.
But yeah, it flows so well, and each individual section feels unique. It feels like it could be broken apart into its own little special movie.
Yeah.
And I quite enjoyed it. I thought it flowed really well. I was excited for each and every episode. I enjoyed all of the character development they put in there. I thought that the show overall, you know, just the way it was really good. My one critique about it is that it's dumb that they haven't dubbed this yet.
Yeah. That's the thing, is it doesn't have a dub. It's all subtitle only, which sucks.
Yeah, because this one's hard too, because it's already, you picked this for me because it's already kind of a hard sell, because it sounds kind of boring on the outside.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. I really don't. I mean, it can only be because it's just not as popular as I feel like it should be.
Yeah.
But like this thing, if you Google it, homie, it made it to not the very top, but it was on a lot of people's best of the year list. Yeah. Some people had it on their #1. I'm like, hell
it's on the top. I can't remember what. Maybe it was IGN or something like that.
It's on IGN's top.
It's on their top 25 of the entire 2010s.
It's on a couple people's 2010s. Yeah. It legit. I want to say it's the New York Times does a best this and that kind of shows at the end, the best shows, the best everything. It was #8 on their best like foreign shows.
Yeah.
This random anime about some girls going to Antarctica.
Yeah, and that's the New York Times.
Of everything for that year.
Magazine here.
Yeah, it's huge. Fucking wild. Like, kind of sucks.
It got praise and it deserves it, but it's you know, to your average person, it's kind of a harder sell.
Not an easy sell.
It really makes it an even harder sell whenever you know that some people just outright won't watch it. It's subtitled.
Yeah.
And I know, dude, there were parts that were excruciating. I was like, I had to go watch something else real fast so I can eat. Yeah. And then go back to this because I don't want to miss any of the dialogue.
Yeah. It's one of the, like, that's the thing with subtitles is you got to focus, homie.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't, like, I kind of watched a little bit of the first episode with Haley, but like, I knew she was going to fall asleep. She can't focus. She like can't be into it that long. You know, it's one of those.
Yeah,
but
so that's the downside is that they haven't dubbed it, but Studio Madhouse did it. You know shit that Studio Madhouse, and they've been doing shit since the 80s. Let's see, they did Attack on Titan, they did One Punch Man, they did Perfect Blue, Satoshi Kon. There's been stuff across time that they've done, and it's all quality shit. So,
good stuff.
This is another really quality anime they pumped out. It looks beautiful. The Japanese dub for it, and it's very good. The girls are all very convincing. The sound of it is amazing. The opening and outros, you know what? I thought they were okay.
Yeah, they were.
But there was this one song that they would play at special times towards the end, and it's like this country song. And it's fucking amazing.
It's shockingly good.
It's a shame that wasn't the opening or the outro. Hey, because I like, they played in the first episode, and I was hanging on it for every single episode. I was like, what the fuck? Where is it at? And then I noticed, like, okay, this is where it's a special moment thing.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so special, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, it is really good.
Yeah, it's well put together, all together. Like, it's just really good. I liked it a lot, man. Now, the other anime I was going to think of, or the kind of adventure, slice of life adventure, would be Sunny Boy. Also very weird.
I get that. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it kind of has that same vein of a bunch of people meeting each other, forming relationships. My bird Millie is flipping her shit.
Millie's out there tripping.
Yeah. I don't know if she's picking up. She probably is. She's quite loud. But those kind of shows, those two have a hook. They're very weird.
Yeah.
And to the point where Sarah's on there's an actual hook at the end of every episode after the credits.
Yep.
And they're amazing. And it's hard for me to say if I like this more than that. It's hard for me to even say if I like this as much as that, but I would say that it's very close.
Yeah. I really enjoy it.
I might dig into the well and offer up one of those first. But, if I know that the person is kind of, like they need something not weird to start into and they're open to reading subtitles, this one will definitely be, probably one of the first out of my mouth. Like, hey, check this one out, see how it makes you feel, because it does make you feel ways.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And to kind of close this out, there are a couple moments I know you wanted to talk about, at least one and for sure. So we'll get to that 12th episode there, where
all right. So spoiler alert, I guess.
Yeah, I've been spoiling things this whole time.
I think we're gonna get extra spoilery.
I think
here.
These are just gonna be spoilery.
Okay, here we go though. So, go on.
So in the 12th episode, actually in a scene that confused me at first because I didn't know what was happening. They make it to where the observatory is going to be built.
Yes. There's this kind of dug out little base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole time Sharase is kind of nervous about going there because she doesn't know what she's going to find.
Yeah.
And really, it's, you know, this is her last chance to be close to her mother. This is her mother's last known place of rest.
This is where she was, and then they threw. So what we know is that the rest of the team and Takako, I believe her name is, Shirase's mother, were in this base, and through a blizzard, they like tied themselves together and made it back to the Snowcat. Which is not like apparently not a super long trek. It's like right there, but it's in a fucking blizzard, so you got to get there. That's why they're tied together. And they kind of turned around, and she wasn't on the rope.
Yeah.
And they get into the thing. They're screaming into the radio to try and find her. And you find this out before they get here, obviously. But she doesn't answer. The winds die down, and it's kind of calm, but they still can't find her. And then the radio clicks on, and they just hear this voice saying, "It's so beautiful."
Yeah.
Presumably looking at the sky.
Yeah.
Because we know she was very enamored with the sky there.
Which actually would be hard because there's a raging fucking blizzard going on.
Well, this is like right after.
It did look like it had calmed down.
Yeah, this is like right after they like calmed down. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so they get there, and like that 12th episode, she's struggling with, does she want to actually even go there? Because it's like, she actually says, she's very concerned about going there because, for one, why would she come this far not to do it? But once she does, there's nothing left to look for. You know?
Yeah, it's over.
But she does end up going.
Yep.
And they're all running. They end up like running through this thing. This is the part that
confused me, is they were talking about it was a gentle conversation.
Yeah.
And then it's a smash cut to them running everywhere.
Oh, I forget what they said. They said there was a line they say that like, she says something about like, you know, wanting to find something. I can't remember. But they end up like smash cutting into the base. They're talking about
you know, like maybe like a treasure that she left behind or something.
Yeah, yeah. And she's like, there's gotta be, the other three girls are like running through. There's gotta be something here. Something, some proof that she was here, something. And she's like, it's okay, there's probably nothing left. And they find her laptop.
Yeah, and they find her laptop.
It's got a picture of the two of them taped to the top of it.
Yeah, and somehow this laptop has survived 3 years.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to nitpick that.
I mean, it's, you know, it's like a little ice cave they dug out, but it is like, it's held up.
Yeah.
You know? But they find it. She finds a plug. She plugs it in. She gets the thing to turn on.
Yep.
She guesses the password.
It's her birthday.
It's her birthday. And this is where we have to jump back a little bit throughout this whole show. Every now and then it'll have this little moment where you see her messing with her phone, and sometimes you'll see it'll zoom in and you can see she's typing "Dear Mom." This has been like a journal for her, basically. Like, you know, this happened, that happened, I made some friends, you know, etc., etc., all this. And she's sitting there, she gets logged into the thing, she's kind of tapping around on it, she opens up the email or something, or like she gets suddenly it's like boom, connection established. And bing, all these emails flooding.
Yeah, all the emails from her start flooding in. And I don't remember what the final count was. It's like over 1,000. It was over 1,000.
Yeah. And she just shatters.
Yeah.
It's so powerful.
Yeah, it really is you know, it didn't hit me as hard as you would think. Like, I think I'd already, maybe I did myself a disservice by already accepting that her mother was gone in episode 1. And that her mother is dead. You know, it obviously was moving that, you know, this is her closure.
Yeah.
This is it. This is as good as it gets. I think that it would have been interesting to maybe even explore the idea that there is no closure.
Maybe.
Because sometimes it is like that. But she's bawling in there, and her friends are outside of the door.
Yeah,
and
they're like
all
leaning against the door, just all crying.
Yeah,
yeah.
And it is a powerful moment, and I definitely see how, you know, it could affect other people, but like it wasn't a Violet Evergarden moment for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, some of the more powerful moments that I experienced were their standalone struggles.
The one with Hinata where Shirase stands up for her.
Yeah.
That one got me too.
That was very
That was like
good.
the episode before.
Yeah, that was really good. And then another thing that got me was whenever the adventure was over, and it's the concept. It's almost a concept of death. Like, you often feel worse for the people left behind. So, you know, these girls have been there and they made an impact on this entire team that, like, strives to find things to keep them going. You know, they have little things that make it worth it, you know, make it worth being there. And then when they're gone and you can see, like, everybody's actually bummed out, I think that was a powerful moment in itself.
You're right.
And just, you know, thinking about, you know, those left behind.
Yeah.
Which is, and you know, the psychological toll that it takes on the girls as they leave, and they know that they're leaving people. Kamari wants to try to find a way to stay.
They like talk about like she wants to come back for another round, like the winter, or the next expedition or something.
To me, that was a bit more powerful.
Yeah, I get it.
Also, the moment whenever Kamari's friend Megami breaks down, I thought that was
really good too.
You know, a more powerful moment. But I think it was because I already accepted that this was going to happen.
Yeah, that was like
that kind of took it out of there. Yeah,
4, maybe
that was
5.
Episode 4 or 5.
Somewhere in there. Yeah. Oh, that's the show's so good. It's got so many of those moments.
Yeah, and I don't know why it hit me like that. I thought the moment was still good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to shit on it.
No. There
were just other parts that were more meaningful to me.
Different strokes. Different stuff hits you different.
Yeah. It just, some of those things hit me a little harder than that particular thing.
I will say this. They make a point of mentioning earlier in the show. It's like, hey, you know, it's a harsh landscape. There's, you know, you gotta make sure you have enough food and water. There's no internet. How those emails come through?
Yeah.
I don't know. It works.
God, yeah.
It works, baby. I don't care.
They did have internet at some places. I'm guessing they had like some sort of satellite connection.
They had some kind of satellite thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was wild. It was man, it's good fucking show.
Yeah.
Good fucking show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it though. Like that was a place further in the universe. I appreciate you for suggesting it. I chugged right on through.
Hell yeah.
Did you think that I was gonna finish it?
I don't know, because I knew he had 2 weeks. I'm like, man, I mean, he can, if he does 1 episode a night, he'll get there.
Yeah.
But it was also like,
I took out giant chunks at times.
There you go.
Yeah, I still watched like Spy Family.
That's the thing, is like you said, you can split it into these arcs and just treat them like a little
really,
movie.
You can.
4 episodes, 5 episodes, you good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cute show though. It's really good. It's really good. The praise that everybody gives it, it's true. There's no way that I would have went out of my way for it. So that is what this format is good for. Yes. There you go, dude. You got your one in there.
Yes.
I finished the whole thing.
Y'all can't see how hard I'm fist pumping. Yes.
I enjoyed all of it, and yeah, I would recommend it to others. Try and see what I can't do to get them to take a look at it.
Sick, rad, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not doing a full-on review or anything. I mean, obviously we rather enjoyed it, but
yeah,
if you had to put a number on it,
I would put a 9 on it.
You think it's a 9?
Yeah,
I think it's probably a 9.
Yeah,
I think not unlike the previous series, it's at least an 8.5, probably a 9. Yeah, it's good shit.
Yeah, I think, you know, its only problem is that there's no dub, and to me, I prefer those weirder ones, but this is good. It is
in
good.
Terms of a more down to earth kind of coming of age slice of life. I think I told you before, man. I think it's among the best like coming of age stories I've ever seen. I still feel that way. I cried the first time I watched it. I cried this last time I watched it.
Yeah,
it's just good.
I'll give you the rest of my little blurbs that I wrote.
Oh hell yeah!
Before we bust on out of here,
give me the notes.
I made a note about how this show it breaks the chains of mundane linear life that people often place themselves in or end up in. like, you know, Kimari is set to, you know, she's in the beginning set to do the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
She thinks about doing something else, but she doesn't fucking
She always talks herself out of it. She's like, what if?
Yeah, she's chained down by one thing or another. And that happens to a lot of people. That's a very real thing that people experience. So this is about shattering those chains.
It's about getting past their own often self-imposed limitations. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, there's a big upside to exploring your youth here, making lifelong memories and friends despite the struggles life is going to throw at you. And I wrote that it's like I said earlier, it's extremely honest and down to earth. Everything is done in the everything done in the show is possible and believable.
Yeah, it all works.
Yeah, it's good.
So good. God, I love this fucking show.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Next time, Brandon, I don't know if there's anything else to say about this, but
nah, I mean, I feel good about it. I feel like we got there. I will say one more thing. I keep talking about how this show makes me cry at certain points. It's also fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, it is.
Even the little, there's such good like little visual gags.
Tan.
When she gets the tan on her face because she wasn't wearing her mask.
Oh, dude, my favorite part.
They just bust
up.
The
funniest fucking part.
Are you about to say what I think you are? Go ahead.
I don't know. It's where her mom finds out.
When her mom is like bearing down, is like, I can't believe I had to find out from one of my neighbors that my idiot daughter, and she's like holding a ladle or something, and then her dad. She's like runs away. She's at the front door. Her dad cracks the door. And he's like, "Hey," and he looks and sees mom.
Like,
he's like,
"Hey, honey."
He sees mom, and she's just like, "Nope," and closes the door.
Yeah. It was good. Yes. Yeah, that shit was fucking hilarious.
That one, and there's another moment I think in episode 1 where like it's these little visual gags they do where like Shirase is getting bullied by like these two girls who are like, "Hey, we heard you got a bunch of money. Hey, can we borrow some?" And Kimari sees that and she's like, "Hey, one of the teachers wanted to talk to you about that thing." And she's like, "Really?" And Kimari just does this fucking like this hard nod. It's so goofy looking. It's those little visual gags.
Also the moment where Shirase is covered in the stinky penguins.
Yes, she's like upset. She loves penguins. And like they've all surrounded her. You're not supposed to go within 5 meters. That's dangerous. You know, you can't. You gotta be careful with the penguins. But they all surround her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, help! They stink so bad, but I'm happy. But they stink, but I'm so happy." It's like, this is great.
Stinky penguins.
Oh my god, this show's so good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
The fucking like we briefly alluded to it, but there's a bit where Hinata like loses her passport. The way that one's resolved.
Oh yeah.
With like how it ends up going and like the quote unquote punishment that happens to the people responsible.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Yeah.
It's good. Kicks ass.
So let's go ahead and talk about next time before we do. Are we gonna do a small ramble?
We can do a small ramble. So are we doing another one of these, or I mean, it feels like we're going to be pretty close to Mount Vibe Check.
Yeah, I think we should. The next one we should just go back into Mount Vibe Check.
I think so.
Yeah.
So
whether that be a week from now or 2 weeks from now.
I mean, definitely 2 weeks.
Definitely 2.
I don't know. Maybe 3. Probably 2. Probably 2 weeks. But we are going to be, you know, the new shows. I think some of them drop today on Friday the 1st when we're recording this.
Oh, new season of Made in Abyss, baby.
Oh, fuck. There's so many. Dog. We might need to do like a separate Mount Vibe Check for just sequel series.
Yeah, maybe.
Fuck. But yes, new stuff is dropping. It's going to be a good time. There are quite a few that I'm looking forward to sequel series. There's some new series that look pretty decent, but we are going to take another trip. Snow on the mountain. To good buddy Brandon's and Rogers Mount Vibe Check, baby.
Brandon does most of the work. I do most of the work
here. You gotta edit it.
Hey, but yeah, well, that's true. and on this one, I feel like this has to be pound for pound one of the ones that I've talked the most in.
Yeah, dude.
So, really did. I made little notes and everything. So I wouldn't come. I was nervous going into this. I was like, what if I can only talk for like 7 minutes? Well, what if I can only talk for 5 minutes?
I'm so glad we got that funky worm to come out of his shell, and now there he goes, back in his hole.
I'm back in the hole, dude.
Back in his hole.
Back in the hole I go. Right. But yeah, let's bust on out of here.
We're gonna bust on out
before it gets too hot, and before Haley turns into a pumpkin in there.
Yeah, Haley. I think I said last week that Haley's car got fucked up, so I'm driving her around, so she's sitting in the other room, getting all sweltery with Beagle Buddy. So let's bust on into this tiny little short ramble. Full links in all of our links and stuff are going to be in the description wherever you're watching or listening.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, we don't need all these plugs.
Full plugs at the end. We'll do them quick.
You don't even need them then. We got them down everywhere. They're fucking everywhere.
I'll hit a couple.
Okay,
but we'll get there. Thank you so much for listening. Let us know what you thought about A Place Further in the Universe.
The man is,
it.
if anything, a creature of habit.
I am indeed.
He does what he does.
God, I just love saying things. All right, let's get out of here. Into the ramble. Thank you so much for listening. Love you.
Love you.